Why don't you grow up already? Loser. I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to be talking about the man child epidemic, or a shift is happening, if you would. This goes for women too. All right, basically everybody wants to be forever young and have no responsibilities. Before we play this clip, this is going to be hard to watch, the first part here. Just brace yourselves. It's actually pretty funny. But something I learned a long time ago, an older gentleman told me. He said, the day you become a man or a woman, okay, this goes for both parties, is when you have to take care of somebody other than yourself. Anyways, let's get this party started. This one's rich. I'm a 24-year-old child. I should not be trusted with important tasks. Classic.
It's Misery Monday. I'm just a child. I shouldn't be trusted with a job. I don't want to work. I don't want to work.
Okay, he kept going for about another 30 seconds. He's probably just doing a bit. He's probably just joking, but that's like a metaphor, though. All right, for this whole video. So keep this guy in mind. And we're going to be talking about the whole nine, why this is, okay? Like, why this is all happening. It's going to be fun. I'm having a great time. He just kept going. All right, so let's look at the actual definition from Urban Dictionary and Webster's. So Webster says, a man who has the qualities of a childlike man. Okay, it's like the 38-year-old man-child trying to finally grow up. Okay, some people just never try and fucking grow up. Well, let's look at Urban Dictionary. The simplest definition, a man-child is an immature guy who just refuses to grow up. This doesn't mean he necessarily lives at home with mom and dad, even though a lot of people are living at home with mom and dad. Or they're like living with someone like me, or, you know, someone's enabling them. That's the truth. How do I know this? He goes, although he probably should be considering the way he functions in the real world, but that he just doesn't have his life together, or he doesn't want to have his life together. I'm adding that part. All right, now that we know that, let's really dig deep. Let's start with appearances first, and then we'll go into actions and all that, and how people conduct themselves in society.
Can someone please explain to me why this generation of 30 to 40-year-olds look like they're in their 20s, but the 20-year-olds look like they're in their early 40s?
Yeah.
Okay. So, to be fair, not everybody is just blessed with, like, perfect skin. All right? I'm 34. Okay? I'm pretty weathered. Okay? I got wrinkles and shit. I got gray hair. All right? I've skateboarded for the past 25 years out in the sun and smoked cigarettes, partied, the whole nine. I've always been responsible, though, so no one's really been able to tell me shit, which this clip is going to say. But a big part of this, like skin and all that aside, is how people dress, their appearance. So we're going to let Nick Schwartzen, he's funny as shit, go ahead and demonstrate this perfectly. Camera cut out.
Turning 47. Yep, still dressed like this. Don't care. I look like a roadie from Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I don't care.
But it's a prime example because a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s. How often do you see a 50-year-old man with sleeve tattoos that look relatively brand new? Do you? I don't care. I'm just making a point. Like, do whatever you want. I'm wearing a red leather jacket. I'm hanging out. And this guy's a multimillionaire. He can do whatever he wants. So I totally understand that. I'm not saying that, but it's just something to think about. People's appearance. Anyways.
I think it's crazy how, like, especially guys on TikTok will be like, oh my gosh, you look so fake, you look so worked on. Because I had a little lip filler and some Botox. It doesn't really change my face at all.
Okay, not to laugh. But this is about appearance. Okay, this isn't about actions. All right? So, one, this is for women. I know a lot of guys don't wear makeup. Some do, but whatever. Do you, boo? Hey. I kind of get it. But, like, she's got a coat of makeup on, all right? A lot of people get Botox in their late 20s, early 30s. It's kind of alarming, actually. The lip thing, I don't quite understand. Like, I feel sorry for a lot of ladies. They got to be hairless, or like the naked people, like naked mole rats. You know, it's like the beauty standard is just, the programming is like, look this way, buy these products, do these things to your body. The joke's on us. I think men got a little bit easier in that aspect. But you got to think about it. You take away all that shit, you know. And the tattoos and everything, you know, because when she turns 40, if she's still doing this, if you're looking at her from 20 feet away, you might see a 25-year-old. I'm just trying to point this out here, okay? We're going to have fun. I'm having a great time. Get on in here.
I have a question.
29 going on 80. This is another one. This is another big one.
Why are we all getting so gray so young? Like, look at this. I am 29, and if I let this grow, I mean, I'm going to look like a freaking grandma in just a couple years. So, does, like, anybody know? Or, I mean, I know it's, like, genetic.
Okay, so I've been getting gray hair. I got a lot of gray hair. I don't know if you could see it, but I've got a lot of grays. And I've been getting them since my late teens. My mom had a full, her hair, she had a big streak by the age she was 30. My mom let it rock, though. It was like her signature. It made her stand out. But the truth is a lot of people have gray hair. And they dye their fucking hair. This is another thing about, like, the appearance is a big thing. We always look first. Everyone's always judging everybody real quick. A lot of people don't know how to listen anymore. I'm guilty. I get it. I've been there. Now what I do with people is I close my eyes and I just listen. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Get what I'm saying? Because looks can be deceiving. So, anyways, let's keep this party going. All right, let's dive into more of like actions and characteristics and how people conduct themselves. This dude's pretty on the money, and I'm going to talk about real life experience after this.
3 signs you're dating a man child. This helps you out or you relate to it. Hit that follow button. If you go to his house and his house is a mess, he's a kid. Don't get me wrong, this used to be me when I was in college, but now I'm grown as shit. My house is always neat. Make sure whoever you're dating, their house is neat too. Number 2 is when he spends way too much time playing video games. There are grown men out here playing video games all day, not for money. Think about that for a second. What the fuck are y'all doing? That is serving no purpose for your life. Number 3 is when he can't handle criticism. I mean constructive criticism. If a man can't handle constructive criticisms...
Okay, that dude's on the money. Okay? Hold on one second. But that dude's on the money. He really is. And I've had a couple of friends in my life. This is from my second channel. You gotta check it out if you feel like it. But it's more shorter sit-and talks in the car and stuff like that. But this one was titled, All My Friends Are Losers. I Feel Stuck in Life. And it's not necessarily about me. It's someone who sent me a DM. But I've had a couple of people in my life that, you know, I've had to kind of push out because you are who you hang out with. And I should do a full video on that. And I will. But this dude was so correct because one of these friends I had to push out, he was living with me. And his room was filthy all the time. His appearance was shit. He's in his 30s, acting like he's 19. Even some 19-year-olds had more respectable than this guy. No offense. I still care about this person. But room was filthy. And guess what else he did all day long? He played fucking video games. Yeah. And anytime I tried to tell him and criticize... Oh, no. You couldn't even have that talk with him. All right? So remember the Nick Swartzen thing. Kanye West. Wait till I get my money right. Yeah, then you can't tell me nothing. All right? So I do understand. I'm not telling you not to live your lives, but you are who you hang out with. So just think about that. And think about it long and hard. I'm just kidding. Let's keep this moving. All right. Now, let's break it down to also like economic and dating and people just giving up. So there's no real reason to try. All right, this is from Legion of Men's YouTube channel, and he's watching some other channel. So that's funny. Just reaction. But he's got a great point here.
Parents are happy to financially support their adult children, whether that's with tuition costs or helping with bills or rent.
Adult children. You're 20-something years old. You can't get on your feet. It's hard as hell to make any money. All the jobs around you suck. It's probably gig work or temp work or entry-level dead-end jobs that pay so little it can't even be considered a livable wage. And then you have to find somehow home for yourself. Living conditions are looking like what, boys? We're probably splitting a room, living in someone else's house. Hopefully you have a good friend that will let you take up their room.
It just kind of comes down to everyone.
All right. So the parents paying for kids, you wouldn't believe it, but there's more 30-year-olds out here where their parents are paying and subsidizing their kids' lives. I can understand going to live with your parents. I support sticking with your family. I think it's actually a sham forcing kids out at a young age. I think that's actually bullshit. I think other cultures have that more dialed down. Like, get your kids up to a good level. Don't just shell them out of the house. And then people shell them out of the house, but then they pay for their phone bill, their car payment, the fucking... I remember I was bartending with this chick. I used to bartend a long time ago, and she's a little rich bitch. She just bartended so she could make some money, right? I just want to make $500 a night, 3 nights a week, and not have to do shit. My parents pay for everything. Literally, this is how this person was. And she was like shopping for a house, and I was like, how the hell are you going to afford a house? She's like, oh, my parents are just going to buy it out. And I was like, damn. I was like, that's awesome. But at the same time, like, the way I grew up, it'd be fine if I was living with my parents and my parents were living with me because the economy's so bad. Or if you're living with a friend, like the friend I was talking about who was living with me. You know, I'm charging him dick shit rent. Put it this way. The amount of rent I was charging him, if I was him, I would have been richer than me within a year. If that makes any sense. But no. He treated me like mom and dad, and he just played video games all day, smoked weed at 10 in the morning, and was a fucking loser. That's the truth. And I really don't care how he feels about it. I'm sorry, but 36-year-old man, I don't think so, dude. Not in my house, daddy. Anyways, let's keep this moving. I like this guy's YouTube channel, Reality Designers. This guy makes a very excellent point here.
It just kind of comes down to everyone wants to buy a meme token, everyone wants to play video games and stream them and make digital money and just live their life like that. And it's a coping mechanism, but it's also an understandable coping mechanism because the world is not the same anymore. You know, the world that we've inherited as young people is not how older generations say to us it is, because they're not even tuned into what it is anymore because they don't have to. You know, the average person stops growing after 25 years old or something. They stop growing mentally, spiritually. It's kind of like going autopilot. And I see that even with my peers today, people who are my age. I already see the autopilots, kind of snap in.
Okay. That dude was so on the money. I'm not saying to conduct yourself how your parents tell you or how I tell you, because I'm never going to tell you how to do that. Keep your inner child. Don't ever lose your dinosaur. I meet too many people who have lost their dinosaur, their inner child. Too many. It's actually sad, honestly. But the autopilot thing, I feel like people are getting stuck in that child, that young... And I get why. I understand why. We just talked about why would you even try. I get it. I'm not stupid. I'm here I'm making money on the internet. I figured it out. I'm not an idiot. All right? But it also takes a lot of work. And it sucks. And I didn't want to work that hard. No one ever does. But if you do what's hard, your life will be easy. That's the truth. But speaking about autopilot, this is I'm not going to put her name in here, but this lady hit me up on Instagram, 54-year-old lady. And I'm going to sum this up, but she's still talking about dating. This is a long-ass paragraph. I'm not going to share her name and all of her information, but she's still talking about dating as if she's 24 years old. No offense to her. I appreciate her watching the show and reaching out, but you can't live two different lives. You can't be a kid and want a family. Remember, the moment you become a real woman or man is when you put other people in front of yourself. I didn't make this up. Don't believe me. Not necessarily just having a kid, just people in general, taking care of others versus just you, me. Anyways, lecture's over. Let's keep this party moving. All right, now, this lady's the best. This one's really rich. She's going to drop some wisdom on us. All right? I'd love to have dinner with this grandma here. Awesome. But this is a prime example on why both parties don't respect themselves and would have all the excuses in the world to not even try.
Not the one got money, Amber. It's the one honest.
And not too many of them honest nowadays.
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's some good men out there. But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women going bad. The women's going bad. It ain't the men's now. It's the women done gone bad.
There's a lot of men out there that suck. Remember the whole man-child thing? But this is going to make sense on why they wouldn't even want to try to begin with. Just pay attention.
You gonna flip the script on us?
Yeah, it's the women done gone.
You a woman yourself.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That's the reason the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect. You understand? You got to give your husband respect to get respect. Because as long as you respect him, ain't too much he gonna do wrong.
Let's get...
Anybody in here, guys? I mean, think about how many of us were treated like straight-up children, you know? Luckily, my parents showed me respect, and a lot of women I've been with showed me a lot of respect. But think about how many kids, even young adults, you know, if your parents are paying for all your shit, you're going to feel like a kid. And then other people aren't respecting you, especially your significant other. You're going to mentally, not even on purpose, you're getting treated like a child, so you're you are what you eat. It's classic. But let's start winding this down. Let's get positive here. All right? Let's get positive, girl. All right, Joey Diaz, somebody who didn't get their life together later in life. This is really good. Take this home, put it in your back pocket.
You suffer a traumatic experience when you're a young man, you stay stuck for a few years. I'm not making excuses. These are all proven things.
Now, I'm sure a lot of you could relate to this. I even made up my own excuses when I was younger. Not too many of them. Obviously, I'm here. I'm doing something with myself. Not that I actually care about the money. I just need to make money to live. So I'm going to do what it takes. But I'll just give you a small list of excuses I could have used. No problem. You ready? My mom turned into an alcoholic. My mom died. My dad was a pill addict, overdosed 8 times before I was the age of 20 years old. Okay, great man. It was in a 5-year period. He didn't get a drug problem until I was like 15. But wonderful father until drugs. At 18 years old, I had a doctor standing over my bed at the Make-A-Wish Foundation saying I have a 35% chance of living. That's always fun. You guys could relate to that. My dad started using me for money at the age of 19 years old when I had to pay his rent for the first time. And then he stole my car at the age of 20, tried to get me arrested, flipped the script on me. My own father, mind you. Got a felony at 21 years old. That was my bad. Cool. All right. Almost died again at 26 years old. Another fucking thing happened to me. Did I mention my mother passing away? My dad has dementia now. I have no parents. Ripe age of 30. My dad's gone. No one's home. So everyone's got a bag of excuses they can use. So use the excuses all you want. I don't know if you need to hear this, or maybe you have friends that do this to you. We all do, I'm sure. But on the positive note, it's never too late. Here's some prime examples. This is Wholesome Grandpa on TikTok. Love this guy. This guy started making a TikTok account at 80 years old. Got successful. Henry Ford, 40 years old. Christian Doyor, 41. Walmart guy, 44. Bob Parsons from downtown, GoDaddy.com, 47 years old. This guy, Adidas, 48. Home Depot man, 49. McDonald's, Ray Kroc, 52 years old. Colonel Sanders, 10 Hut Chicken Fried Chicken, 62. Bill Porter, 63. I'm not saying be like the woman that sent me a DM and be 54 years old still talking about dating as if you're 24. I'm not saying that. But eventually the excuses run out is all I'm trying to say. Anyways. All right. We got one last thing. Take notes, okay? I'm going to be testing you guys on this stuff. All right? But this is about the company you keep. And this is very important. Take it how you want. Doesn't matter to me. I don't know you. It's all good. But I do care about you. Kinda. Just like you care about me. Some stranger on the internet. But this is the truest thing I've ever heard. Take this home with you. Okay? Hang it on your wall if you need to. This is Rich.
If you sit next to a...
My girlfriend sent this to me, by the way. She cares, and she's smart.
high performer at a company, that high performer, on average, will increase your performance by 15%. If you sit next to a low performer at your company, that low performer will decrease your productivity by about 30%. If you think about it this way, the people that you surround yourself with, whatever energy that they bring, it's contagious. And so for our teams, I obsess on this fact, and we've all felt it. You've felt that person who sat next to you, who you're like, God, shut up, Marge. Like, it's not always negative. I don't feel good at the end of these conversations. I don't feel like we're progressing. That is a real phenomenon. And now there's a lot of studies. Arthur Brooks has incredible studies on the effect of happiness as contagion, on the effect of obesity as contagion, on the effect of divorce as contagion. And the same thing tends to be true with performance. If you surround yourself with high performers, you will perform higher. If you surround yourself with low performers, you will double your underperformance.
I know. We'll end on this note. You're going to love this one. This is our true story. Now, I'm successful in my own right, meaning not just money. I'm not making the craziest amount of money. I'm saying I'm successful in what I set out to do. I'm doing it, and it's working because I keep showing up. Now, you would think, right? Listen, remember what that lady said. So I go out in public with one of these friends I was telling you about, alcoholic loser. The negativity is so strong that when we're out together, people don't look at him and go, oh, he's friends with Jack. He must be doing good. Right? No. You know what people thought? This literally happened to me. A girl comes up to me sometime within the shindig we're at, and she just assumed I was an alcoholic because I was friends with this guy. And that was one of the big moments I realized I'm going to have to take a step back from this cat. Because I've fucking worked way too hard. Have I partied and been kind of a shithead in the past? A little bit. But not really. I never had a choice to be lazy. I always had to work really hard. Always. I didn't have the option. And I hate being broke. So I'm going to get the fucking money. But something to think about. Take it home with you. God. I would offer you guys a hit. But I'm not a bad influence. God, that was fun. Good times.